We're here with World Long Drive Champion, Martin Borgmeier, and we are going to see if he's actually powerful today by testing him on the Proteus. So what we're gonna do is take him through part of the evaluation process, look at some of his numbers, see what he's got, see if he's just all fluff or if there's actually something behind that muscle he's got going on there. So we'll get started here with the Proteus. We're gonna do a few select exercises. Just pull back, load up here, good. Good, and reach up and across as you want to. All right, so we just did the rotational test for Martin today, and we did one row press to check out what he was working with. Overall score of 1.23 for the Proteus score. We like to see around a 1.3, so pretty darn good there. What's really impressive with him though is you see these peak acceleration percentiles. Obviously with something like swinging a golf club, acceleration is a big deal. You can see 97th, 96th percentile there, 86th percentile there, and then down at the bottom for the straight arm rotation and the full body rotation, we're at 92 and 88. So obviously elite acceleration. If you look right beside it to the left, where you have peak power and velocity, 97 and 93rd percentile, and then he's above 70 and pretty much everything else. So what this is telling us is this is a man that's pretty well put together and someone that can move some weight fast. And not only can the overall power output, can he generate a lot of power output with between his body weight and his strength, but he can also accelerate objects very quickly. So let's talk about your golf swing. Obviously the whole name of the game is getting to the top and how fast can you accelerate before you make contact. So when you're either training in the gym or training with your golf swing, what are some things you think about or work on to help you get that acceleration?
Well, that's a good point because you actually want to accelerate your hands way before impact. So in the golf swing, what I've realized is all these segments accelerate at a different point in the golf swing and peak at a different point in the golf swing. So that's what we call sequencing, right? Yeah. So the hands actually peak around shaft vertical in the downswing, and then they slow down and that shaft and the club head actually follow and accelerate more. Because that's the last element that actually wants to accelerate.
It's like the e-brake, right? You hit e-brake and it whips through.
Exactly, and having that in the right order and actually braking at the right point is a question of how much force can you put into the whole system before.
Sure.
So everything has to happen at the right point in time, but that's all mechanics in the golf swing. That's technique, right? But you're definitely limited by the capability of your body and how much force you can actually put in the system.
And that's what you focus in the gym, right? Is building the horsepower and building that overall power output. So then when you get into something like sequencing, your sequencing means a lot more because you have those horses under the hood, right?
Yeah, that's one thing, and also you can do it a lot more.
Yeah.
Because your body actually allows you to do that over and over and over again because your body knows and your brain knows you can handle those reps, you can handle that speed, and you're actually braced for all that stuff that is happening in the golf swing, which is actually terrible for the body, right? Because you're doing the same thing over and over again, and staying healthy is a big, big element.
I love that point. We call it overall tissue capacity, so that he's refined his craft because he's able to do it more often, which is the case, especially with something like throwing. The more you can throw a baseball and stay healthy, the more of a chance you have to get better. What we see with people, and you've talked to a lot of golf instructors, I'm sure you've seen this in some clinics you've been a part of, is guys that are more of, played in high school or something, or picked up the game a little bit later in life. They're working a desk job. They're not doing a ton of physical activity. They want to come hit balls for the weekend or do something with you or some of the guys like Josh you work with. And after like an hour and a half on Saturday morning, they're gassed and they're done. And that's why it's frustrating to me. In my sector, it's like, okay, sequencing is really important. At the end of the day, if you're really strong and your sequence is poor, you're not going to be that great. But if you want to be able to improve that, you do have to put work in on your body so that you can handle the stress.
I agree. I mean, you're super limited in your progress in sequencing wise when your body is not ready to do what it's supposed to do. Yeah. I absolutely agree. I mean, in short terms, when you're fat, you won't do as well.
Yeah, I love the bluntness of the Germans. Martin, thank you so much for stopping by.
Thank you.
Pleasure meeting you, talking to you. Look forward to doing more stuff with you in the future.
Absolutely.